The isolation, that's a big one. I mean, I want to acknowledge that isolation is what we do to prisoners when they've violated their prison sentence. They get isolated and put in the brig in order to give them consequences. And this is what we were doing for people who were terrified of losing their lives in the hospital. So we were adding isolation to terror. I mean, I've got 20 studies that I can give you right now showing that the correlation to isolation and decreased health and wellness and increased risk of death. I mean, that's just a fact. That's a scientific, you
Absolutely.
know,
It,
hypothesis.
it's barbaric. I mean, what we
Yes.
did is barbaric. When you think about not just in acute care settings like in the hospital, but when you think about what we did in long-term care settings, I mean, there were people in their 80s and 90s that were in nursing homes that were not allowed to see their families.
Yeah.
And they died lonely, not being able to see their families. That is barbaric. I believe it's illegal. And I
Yep.
mean, if it, I mean, let's put ourselves in those people's shoes. And if they came to me and said, Mr. Needham, you're 85 years old, you're in a nursing home, chances are if you're in a nursing home, your chance of living more than 3 or 4 years anyway is pretty slim, honestly. So, Mr. Needham, you can see your kids and grandkids, and they might give you, and you might die, or we can isolate you for the next 2 years. What is your choice? Well, that choice is a no-brainer to me, but they didn't give people choices.
No, they didn't. They didn't
Yeah,
give them choices.
barbaric.
Yeah.
What hospitals did, what long-term care settings did, evil. And again, when you trace that back, those settings took money from the federal government. They were told what to do. If you don't think this comes from the top down, from the federal government for a way to control people, you talk about terror and fear. That's how governments in history have controlled people.
Right.